Hi there. My name is Jamey Graham, and I am from Ricoh Innovations. I'm going to be talking about visual search. And we'll try something here where I'd like all of you to take out your device. We all carry these very powerful devices around with us, and these devices are capable of augmenting our reality. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. And so what I did is I put some QR codes up. And of course, the idea is that you could take a picture and you could pull information back, because that's the way we do it today. And most of you can't take that picture because the camera's not powerful enough. But think of it as an exercise in being able to point at something and pull information back. And that's what I'll be talking about. So, as I mentioned, I come from Ricoh. And Ricoh, we have a lab in Silicon Valley. We do, in the company, we do software, but we're mainly known for these big hardware boxes. And of course, we are hurting too in the print industry because of this. What I'm here to talk about today is some of the technology we created called visual search. This thing is a magic lens, and I want to be able to point it at things like books and pull back information. I want to be able to point it at a car and pull back information. And we can do this today. And in fact, companies like Google are doing this today. Nokia and Amazon are all doing it today. And they're doing it in kind of a superficial way, where you can point at a book cover and get information. You can point at a poster and get information. You can point at the Golden Gate Bridge and get information. We're interested in books and magazines and catalogs and newspapers. And what we do is we index this information. So the contents of these things get indexed. And we use the natural characteristics, instead of a barcode, the natural characteristics of that printed page to become your future barcode. You can point at it and get information. All right? So I'm going to back up a little bit here and tell you about the platform that we're working with. We have an application on the App Store called iCandy. And iCandy is all about pointing, at the moment, version 1, pointing at these barcodes and pulling back information. That's the first step. Second step is to add the visual search layer. So the other part of this is anytime I point at something, I'm going to want to have some connection to my social networks. And so we integrated Facebook, we integrated Twitter into our system so that you can publish the things that you're pointing at, all right? And then, of course, we have the analytics. So who's doing this kind of stuff? Well, the NHL is experimenting with it. Manor, Texas, Government 2.0, maybe you've heard that. Buildings, posters, it's all over the place. Lots of people are using it. QR codes are here today. And, of course, we know that because of this. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue has barcodes in it, all right? And I'll blow that up just so you guys can take a picture. And we know now that this has arrived because they're using it to connect to their readers. So how does it work? First of all, no barcodes, right? Get rid of the barcodes so you don't have to change the layout of your document. These are sample images that we submit to our server. They come from the webcam on your device. And I like to think of this like Shazam. Maybe a lot of you know Shazam. It's a great app. You sample a small amount of music, and it sends it to the server. The server sends back the content, okay? This is very similar to what we do, except we sample an image. A person takes a picture with their cell phone device, ship it to the server, and in some cases, it all runs right on the device, and then we pull back the content, all right? So an example. Let's take this book, which is pretty famous. And that's the link to Amazon, by the way. When I was reading this book, I had to have my iPhone with me because there's so many little information factoids in this book that I was interested in. So I was pulling stuff up. I was typing on my iPhone. What I really wanted to do is just point my device at this thing and pull back information automatically. All right? So we can do this today. We have the stuff to do this right now. And we're going to do this. Our current test is Department of Motor Vehicles. So here's a free document millions of people have access to, millions of people have to read, but it has static information that could benefit from visual information. All right? So here's an example. Here is a typical California student. She's learning, reading about driving. And this is the kind of stuff that you read in there. It has pictures, it has text. She picks up her iPhone. She points at the stuff that she's interested in, and it points her to a video that shows driving in some way, whatever she was pointing at. So now we've added motion to the static page. So that's all I have time for, but I do have a round table that I want to pitch, 8 o'clock and wilder. I will be giving demos. I'd love to hear some feedback, some discussion. So thank you very much, and come see me at the round table if you have any more questions or want to see live demos. Thank you.